Hello, Lee Anthony Davis here, recording live on my YouTube channel. Tonight I will reveal the answers to the questions in my Doctor Who quiz featuring The Edge of Destruction. Before I get into that, I have some news for you, especially people who follow my Hammer Horror page and also my members in the horror group. Starting this Thursday around 9 o'clock, I will be doing a new quiz which will feature Hammer Horror. There's something to look forward to and it's going to be fantastic. I will be putting more details on my pages, groups, Facebook and Twitter. In fact, anywhere I can get away with it. Only joking. Just before I start, I want to give one of my new members a shout out who just joined one of my new groups that I've just started called the Sitcom Group. I appreciate it so much. I've made her admin of the group. So well done, Davina. Anyway, that's enough of that. So anyway, let's get on with the Doctor Who quiz featuring The Edge of Destruction. What I will do is read out the answers to Friday's questions, so get yourself a pen and paper handy so you can write down your answers before I say them. So I'll give you a minute. 30, 15, 10, 8, 2, 1. Let's get right into it. No, not only kidding. I won't start yet. I'll just ramble on for a little bit. Just give you time to get a pen and paper together. La 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 la. I'm going a little bit mad here, so yeah, I think I better get on with it. Eh? Right, okay. Remember, give yourself a point for every question you get right, and minus the one for every one you get wrong. Have you got your pen and paper handy? Let's go. Question 1. I just like to emphasise I will read the question twice before giving the answer out. Okay? Here goes. Question 1. Out of all the companions in the opening scene, who was the only one that was conscious? I repeat, out of all the companions in the opening scene, who was the only one that was conscious? Was it A, the Doctor? Was it B, Susan? Or was it C, Barbara? The answer was Barbara. Right, on to question 2. When Ian was stood up looking straight at Barbara, what did he say to her? I'll repeat the question. When Ian was stood up, looking straight at Barbara, what did he say to her? Was it A, you are looking pretty tonight, Miss Wright? Was it B, you're working late tonight, Miss Wright? Or was it C, are you still looking for Mr. Wright, Miss Wright? The answer is B, you're working late tonight, Miss Wright. Okay then, that was a bit of a tongue twister. Going on to question 3. What did Susan gasp at when she came into the console room? I repeat, what did Susan gasp at when she came into the console room? Was it A, Ian and Barbara were doing a juggling act? Was it B, the Doctor was wearing a dress? Or was it C, the TARDIS doors were open? You guessed it, C, the TARDIS doors were open. Moving on to question 4. When Ian carried Susan into her room, what did he do with her? Repeat the question. When Ian carried Susan into her room, what did he do with her? Was it A, drop her on the floor? Was it B, tripped over and both of them fell to the floor? Or was it C, puts her on her bed? The answer is C, puts her on her bed. Question 5. When Ian came back into Susan's room, what was Susan holding in her hand? Again, I'll repeat the question. When Ian came back into Susan's room, what was Susan holding in her hand? Was it A knife? Was it B, a pair of scissors? Or was it C, a glove pocket of sooty? It's B, a pair of scissors. Right, question 6. Before I go on, I just have to admit I'm a little bit knackered tonight. Excuse the language. I've been up and around all my groups putting content in, so forgive me for my sort of lackness tonight. I'm rather a little bit tired, but there's no way that I'm never going to do a quiz, so I've got to do it. You know, I don't want to disappoint anybody. Right, okay then. Where was I? Question 6. When the doctor had recovered, what did he say to I'll repeat that question again, sorry. When the doctor had recovered, what did he say to Ian? I've done this really bad. I've written it bad, you say it bad. I'll do it again. When the doctor had recovered, what did he say to Ian he was going to do? That's correct, isn't it? Yeah. A, frankly, I don't give a damn. B, to check the fault locator. Or C, get a gin and tonic. The answer is B, to check the fault locator. Obviously, you can tell I'm really tired tonight, but I'll try and keep awake. Question 7. Who joined Barbara and Susan in the room? Was it A, Simon Templar? Was it B, James Bond? Or was it C, Ian Chesterton? I'll repeat that question again. Who joined Barbara and Susan in the room? Was it A, Simon Templar? Was it B, James Bond? Or was it C, Ian Chesterton? Well, the obvious answer has to be C, doesn't it? Ian Chesterton. James Bond and Simon Templar were working on other projects at the time. Right, okay. Question 8. When the doctor flicked a switch on the TARDIS console, what noise did it make? I repeat, when the doctor flipped a switch on the TARDIS console, what noise did it make? Was it A doorbell sound? Was it B, a low humming sound? Or was it C? Was it the producer telling the doctor to get a move on? Well, the answer was B, a low humming sound. Right, we're moving on to question 9, but forgive me, I'm just going to have a sip of coffee. My throat's a little bit dry at the moment. Oh, that's lovely. Hits the spot. No problem. Right, question 9. When the scanner came on, what did Barbara say the picture was of? I repeat the question. When the scanner came on, what did Barbara say the picture was of? Was it A, look doctor, it's Charlie Chaplin? Was it B, oh, it looks like a party political broadcast? Or was it C, that could be England? Yes, it's C, that could be England. Question 10. What was the reason for the doctor's confrontation with Ian and Barbara? I'll repeat the question. What was the reason for the doctor's confrontation with Ian and Barbara? Was it A, over dinner and who got more on their plate? Was it B, was it an argument over what channel to watch? Or was it C, were they trying to blackmail the doctor to taking them back to their own time? The answer is C. Was it blackmail to take them back to their own time? It was blackmail, sorry. It was blackmail to take them back to their own time. That's what the doctor said. That's C. Question 11 now. What was the second episode of The Edge of Destruction called? I repeat, what was the second episode of The Edge of Destruction called? Was it A, The Brink of Catastrophe? Was it B, Brink of Annihilation? Or was it C, Brink of Disaster? The answer is C, brink of disaster. Question 12. Who wrote The Edge of Destruction? Was it A, Arthur Conan Doyle? Was it B, Edgar Allan Burroughs? Or was it C, David Whitaker? I repeat the question just one more time. Who wrote The Edge of Destruction? Was it A, Arthur Conan Doyle? Was it B, Edgar Allan Burroughs? Or was it C, David Whitaker? The answer is C, David Whitaker. Right, we're at question 13 now. Just give me a 2-second cigarette break and then we get on with it, eh? There's nothing like a good ciggy to calm you down. Right, okay then. Question 13. Unlucky for some, hope not for me, after this quiz is over. Who had his hands around the Doctor's throat at the beginning of episode 2? I repeat. Who had his hands around the Doctor's throat at the beginning of episode 2? Was it A, the showrunner? Was it B, a disgruntled fan? Or was it C, Ian Chesterton? The answer is C, Ian Chesterton. Question 14. What was the Doctor planning to do with Ian and Barbara? I repeat the question. What was the Doctor planning to do with Ian and Barbara? Was it A, read them poetry? Was it B, tell them jokes? Or was it C, put them off his ship or TARDIS, whatever the way you want to look at it? I think I said that point 2 days ago, so I must have rewrote the bloody script. Sorry about the language. There you go. It was C. He wanted to put them off the ship or TARDIS. Okay then, question 15. What did the Doctor say to Barbara about the fault locator? I repeat, what did the Doctor say to Barbara about the fault locator? Was it A, you have to change the bulb to red alert? Was it B, you have to put money in the meter? Or was it C, a little bulb illuminates to let you know precisely where the fault is? The answer is C, a little bulb illuminates to let you know where the fault is precisely. Right, question 16. What reason did the Doctor give for Ian's strange behaviour? I repeat, question 16. What reason did the Doctor give for Ian's strange behaviour? And you could say that about me today reading these questions. Was it A, he was under contract? Was it B, the Doctor had hypnotised him? Or was it C, the Doctor had merely given Ian a harmless sleeping drug? The answer is C, the Doctor had merely given Ian a harmless sleeping drug. Question 17. What was the reason Ian gave to the Doctor not to go near the control panel? I repeat the question. What was the reason Ian gave to the Doctor not to go near the control panel? Was it A, the console wasn't working? B, he reset the coordinates and didn't want the Doctor to know about it? Or was it C, the panel or the TARDIS console was electrified? The answer is C, the panel or the TARDIS console was electrified. Question 18. 2 more to go. When Barbara asked what would have happened if the column on the TARDIS console had come out completely, what was Susan's reply? Excuse me. When Barbara asked what would have happened if the column on the TARDIS console had come out completely, what was Susan's reply? Was it A, it would blow up? Was it B, it would play music? Or was it C, the power would be free to escape? The answer is C, the power would be free to escape. Right, we're at question 19 and we're closing in on the finishing line. Here we go. When the Doctor realised that the TARDIS was in trouble, How long did he say they have got to Ian and Barbara before it blows up? I repeat the question. When the Doctor realised that the TARDIS was in trouble, how long did he say that they have got to Ian and Barbara before it blows up? Was it A, 30 minutes? Was it B, 10 minutes? Or was it C, 5 minutes? The answer is B, 10 minutes. Right, we're on the final question. We're coming towards the finishing line, and thank God for that, I say. I bet you're saying that as well. Question 20, here we go. What was the cause of... What was the cause of all the trouble on the fast return button on the TARDIS console? I repeat the question. What was the cause of all the trouble on the fast return button on the TARDIS console? Was it A, the button was temperamental? Was it B, gremlins into the works? Sorry, I said that again. Was it B, gremlins had got into the works? Or was it C, the spring had got stuck and failed to release the fast return button? You guessed it, it was C. The spring had got stuck and failed to release the fast return button. Right, that is it, I'm afraid. Thank God for that, you're thinking. Right, thank God that's over. And how did you do? Did you feel like you are a sports car passing the line first? Or do you feel like a clapped out car ready for the breaker's yard? I know which one I feel at the moment. Right, anyway, that's it for tonight. Just to remind you, I will be back at 9 o'clock next Thursday with a new quiz called Hammer Horror. So that's it. So that is something to get your teeth into. And of course, I will be back next Friday with another Doctor Who quiz featuring a new adventure. Wait for it. It's the Keys of Marinus. Yes, you heard me, the Keys of Marinus. That's our Doctor Who quiz next Friday. So that's it for tonight, folks. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I didn't. Or should I say, have not. No, I'm only joking. Of course I loved making these. It takes me away from my groups and pages. There's a lot of hassle on that. You obviously understand it if you run a group. And it's good to get away from it. And at the end of the day... Excuse me, I'll just have a quick coffee. Oh, lovely. And at the end of the day, doing something like this, release the stress, you know. Even though I'm tired, I enjoy doing this. And I hope you enjoyed listening to it as well. I like making these and I hope you'll tune in next time. So, all I have to say is good night from me, Lee Anthony Davis. So, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite, and I'll see you next week, refreshed and bright. Good night.